All right, so before we start breaking this down, just what are your initial thoughts?
My initial thoughts, I thought it was
Yeah,
good.
like
I was very impressed by it, yeah. All the trailers have been impressive though. Like they've all been really good.
they definitely have. They definitely have. I think for me though,
It was probably the
God,
biggest mind fuck out of all of them.
yes, absolutely, absolutely. It's the biggest mind fuck, and this is when when I've seen the other trailers, I walked away from them thinking, okay, I had a grasp of that.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
trailer is
This
just
one asks a lot of questions.
yeah, yeah. Okay, let's. This is gonna kind of suck because you're on a delay, but I'll just go frame by frame. I'll leave it up on there, and then we
Yeah.
can just talk about it. So let me see here. I gotta hold on. I don't even. I'm using VLC, so I gotta figure out what are the frame by frame controls here. Just to go up a frame. Let's see. Let me go to hotkeys. Okay. Let's see here. Um. All right. Well, right off the bat, though, I feel like that's just a clone. I don't feel like that's what people are initially thinking. What do you
What's
think?
it called? What are you
Um,
talking about?
Eli.
Yeah, I have no idea what to think of that really. Like it's
I
you
think it's
see
just
liquid,
a
you see liquid, and then you see another person right beside him who looks like liquid. He kind of sinisterly opens his eyes. Then Snake
right,
mentions, les enfants terribles is what he called it, and that's obviously when Big Boss, someone is telling, that's what Big Boss finding out about it. Whoever tells him
right,
or however he finds out, who knows? But
right. Okay, I found the controls.
the opening quote language obviously dealt with words and language and race constantly being spoken about in the trailer,
Okay,
which is
so well, what's interesting about this, and so I just want to make this very clear to people that are listening to us. We are going to be talking about spoilers of information that we know up to now, based off of the trailers. So if you don't want to hear about, we're going to try to break stuff down. So yes, we're going to be talking about the game. If you don't want to know anything other than what you've seen, probably don't want to watch. So I'm just giving chat fair warning. We're going to be breaking this down. We're going to be giving our assumptions, our opinions. If it's something you can't deal with, I'm just letting you know. Fair warning. Okay, so yeah, the quote is interesting because you know up to all the different Metal Gears where Snake has had to face um, troops from different countries, different regions.
mm,
He's able to interrogate them. He's able to get information wherever he can. It's interesting because in the Phantom Pain, when you now try to interrogate or approach soldiers, he's not going to have that ability
yeah,
unless he has a translator.
yeah, like language and speech is like one of the core themes of the game and how it
Uh,
relates to race. Like what Skullface in Ground Zeroes, he's constantly talking about everything that he's lost, and he always mentions that the last thing that was taken from him was his language, and the words I spoke were pulled from me. Everything seems to relate to speech and language. Like we have Code
right,
Talker, Quiet, a character who barely speaks. Big Boss is
right.
barely going to speak. Just a lot. Like the story is really going to relate a lot to language and speech.
All right.
And
So,
this trailer seems to really deal with that much more than all the other trailers. But
oh yeah,
all of this stuff is kind of spoken about in Ground Zeroes as well. So it's interesting.
one thing that blows me away, and you see it here from the very, very first scene, is this trailer. The the amount of symbolism in this trailer
Yeah,
is
yeah.
unprecedented. Like it is peppered all over this trailer. The symbolism.
Mm,
So obviously here we have the bloodstained diamond dogs. So in the nuclear trailer, we have that scene towards the end where Big Boss
Snake.
is
Yeah.
he's killing MSF soldiers. And then
Yeah.
obviously in this trailer, we see the scene where, the hallway is just littered with bodies and he's walking through, he's covered in blood. And then you have this to me clearly looks like a scene from it, but it,
Who
this
knows?
is interesting because this is going to be and this is the part where I still feel like the casual Metal Gear Solid fan is still not going to put this together until it actually happens in front of their own eyes. But this is when he turns. This is when he turns, and this is where, I mean, the demon side of him is going to be shown, and I don't know. This is going to be so interesting as far as when he actually turns during this game.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not sure if that will be his real turn, like when he starts killing his own men or whatever, but it is interesting to see him kill Diamond Dog soldiers in the last trailer. And but another thing, like in that trailer, the Diamond Dog soldiers look like zombies. They don't even
Yeah,
like the last guy he kills. He looks totally in a daze. So we really don't have too much context for it. But another thing I think is interesting is that Miller, like Big Boss, has to turn on Miller, and I think Miller has to be the one who founded Diamond Dogs while Snake was in the coma. Maybe that's not what happened, but Miller. The quote that Miller says in one of the last trailers is, "You see this, Diamond Dogs, our new home." He's showing Snake what their new home is. Maybe that's midway through the game, but I kind of get a sense that this is Miller just showing Big Boss what he's kind of done with them. But who knows?
yeah. I don't know. All right, so let's start going through this. So we have the bloody Diamond Dogs logo here against the wall. We have a soldier here that's clearly, he appears by all means to be dead.
I think this guy's dead.
Right. Here, I'm not exactly sure what we're looking at. What's interesting here is, is this the scene? I'm assuming. Okay. I'm
Looks like a hospital.
right. So obviously the floor is riddled with bullets. You have that scene.
It reminds you of the
In
hospital
the
intro,
first
I guess.
trailer, right? Remember this? Yeah, that would be a good assumption it's from that massacre.
But the thing is, this is obviously way after that happens. So
Right.
who knows?
It's also interesting is that clip from the very first trailer where it shows. Remember when it shows? If they first reveal his name in the trailer. Boss's name. Boss's name, where he's holding. Is it an M16 rifle? And he's pointing it. The thing is, this particular scene is so deceiving because you see the children holding the blood diamonds, and then it cuts to
Snake,
Snake firing, and everyone automatically assumed, oh, he's killing off all the children.
I think that's definitely not what happens.
Exactly. I'm just like, this is just the way it was cut. It looks that way, but that's exactly what he wants you to think. But it's interesting because every time I see, something like this where bullets are riddled on the ground, I automatically want to think, was this something that Snake did? Was this part of the hospital massacre? Or is this part of the man on fire walking through, building and him like bullets falling off of him?
I know I don't have any real assumptions for what's going on here.
Yeah. All right, so
it actually reminded me of PT when I first saw the screenshot here. Just the lighting.
Okay, well there you go. This would make sense then. That's what this is. Okay, so in this frame, you can see Boss walking past. You'll see it here in a second. There should only be like a 10-second delay now with Twitch, so you should see it pretty soon here. But here you can see Snake walking past. So this was. We are to assume this was clearly done by him, or he's walking in on the aftermath of this. It has to be one of the two, right?
Yeah, who knows? I'm not sure.
Okay. Do you see what I'm looking at though now?
Yeah, yeah. Well, I think I do.
Okay. So it's the same scene here. What do you make of this scene here, where he's in his sneaking outfit and he's walking through this hallway, and then he changes. He's in his regular fatigues.
Oh, I'm not sure if I noticed that.
And then and then what's the let me play the line that he says here. Let's see here. Let's play this beginning portion.
I was still a child when we were raided by soldiers.
Okay, so obviously that's Skullface talking, where he goes, "I was still a child when we were raided by soldiers."
Yeah, he's just talking about his same backstory, pretty much,
Right.
from Ground Zero.
Soldiers. Torn from my elders, I was made to speak their language. With each new post, my masters changed, along with the words they made me speak. With each change, I changed too.
Whoa. I just had the stream on. I wasn't sure what I was listening to.
Tell me when you get to the pause.
1 second. It's kind of awkward when I'm listening to the stream and listening to you on my headphones and just hearing everything twice.
Sorry.
1 second. Twitch is really awkward when you pause the stream and then play it again for some reason for me. I need to just refresh the whole page. Oh yeah, I see where you're at.
So did you hear that line though that he was talking about there?
What was it? What was the line?
So let me play it one more time. Just let me play it one more time. And this is Skullface talking about him changing. And then coinciding with him saying this change, this is where Snake is changing from his sneaking suit to his fatigues.
Oh, nice.
And someone is also saying to pay attention to the shrapnel in his head, because it changes as well. So I'm rewinding it and let's play it again.
Changed, along with the words they made me speak. With each change, I changed too.
You pause it there?
Yeah, I did.
I wasn't sure if I noticed the horn. The horn changed.
Okay, so the horn didn't change. It just wasn't there.
Oh, shit. Yeah, the stream is just fucking lagging for me, so it's awkward.
Okay, sorry. So the horn was not there. The shrapnel was not there when he was in the sneaking outfit, but he was still like covered in blood. And then it changed to his regular fatigues, his regular outfit, and he's just like, he's talking about change. So this to me, this is like another symbolism. You know,
one thing that's interesting about this trailer is regarding Skullface, like it's really portraying him as this mirror image to Snake, and that he may not be real at all in any way. Like later on, there's a scene where Skullface is behind him on Mother Base, and then he just randomly appears out of nothing, and then he puts on his hat, and then he disappears. He's drawing these parallels between himself and Snake about how, he's changed based on his experiences, and he's lost everything, and it's pretty interesting.
Yeah. All right, let's keep going.
My thoughts, personality, how I saw right and wrong.
The scene where he's upside down as well.
Okay. Let me know when you get to the pause and pay attention to the video if you can. I don't know if it's lagging for you or not.
Oh shit, yeah.
So the horn did increase.
Yeah, that's pretty.
Here it goes to pure red.
That's just like Snake is the devil basically there.
Right. This is his demon.
Yeah.
The demon side.
I always just think of that the whole ogre project thing every time I see
Right.
like Snake is this red devil because it relates to that.
Exactly. Exactly.
Another thing as well, like Kojima said, that Snake in the Phantom Pain, Snake is going to have this strap that's hanging down his back, and
Yeah.
it's supposed to look like a tail.
Demon tail.
So he's really like the game is really like that's the however reason that he has the horn, like for who knows how the debris got lodged, or you know the actual logical reason for the horn being there. The symbolic purpose is obviously a lot more important. That it's just about showing him becoming worse and worse, becoming this devil.
So someone in chat goes, I think the horn depends on the way the players play Big Boss.
I'd say it will
don't.
increase over the course of the story, but regardless, but who knows?
Yeah. I unfortunately think the game's a little more linear than that.
Yeah, I would say so.
I don't think it would. It's like one of these choose
I
your
don't.
path type of game. You know what I mean?
You'll be able to choose, like you'll be able to decide what happens with Quiet's story, but I'd imagine Snake's story is going to be linear. There's no way you're going to be less bad than you could have been within the story. You won't. Sure, you won't be. You can choose to trank people instead of killing them, but I'd say that's about as far as it'll go. I'd say as far as this what happens within the story, within the cutscenes. I don't think you'll really be able to choose how bad Snake actually becomes. Apart from maybe killing. If you choose to kill Quiet or you choose to kill someone else, maybe that will affect it. But
right. Well, there are definite parts in this game from what I've read, and I won't say any spoiler stuff, but there are definite parts in this game where you will make choices, and those choices will have an effect on the rest of the game for you. Meaning, you might not see someone for the rest of the game. You might not. You might have actually missed an encounter that you can no longer get that interaction with again.
Oh yeah, I know about that.
You know what I mean? Okay, so I mean there is consequence in that regard.
There is consequence, but I think I still think the game is still going to have a core story. It's not going to be totally. You're not going to have tons of different ways how Snake's story is going to finish in the end or anything.
Exactly, because Kojima in the end wants to tell the story that he wants to tell. Yeah. Okay. Let's keep going on this a little.
He said that as well. Like, he said it's not going to be totally, you will be able to have some choices, but as regarding to story, but it's going to be pretty linear overall.
Words.
Gameplay, on the other hand, not so much.
Time and again.
So, I'm pausing it here on this screen. What the significance of this is I don't know. It's just kind of meaningless, but I just want to look at this screen for a second here.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of. It's a window, not a window, a mirror, bathroom.
Right. But if you look at this though, this whole room is filled with weaponry.
Yeah.
So you got like what looks to me as to be a Stinger missile sitting on the left table. You have
this is what a bathroom looks like at Diamond Dogs.
Right. You have your regular what's the missile launcher in Ground Zeroes? What's the actual
I forget what the name was.
Yeah, I forget the name of that, but it looks like you got 3 of those to the right. You got different weaponry boxes surrounding, and then you got large artillery shells sitting on the bottom left-hand corner. And then if you look in the upper left-hand corner, you see a cardboard box. So, is this?
Oh yeah, there is.
You see that? So I'm guessing this might be.
It's a pretty interesting looking image. It looks sort of.
Yeah.
It looks kind of like religious or something. Like look at the white curtains and
right.
It looks kind of interesting. Bathroom full of weapons. Right. Who knows? This is where you go maybe this is where you shower inside Mother Base and you just pick up some weapons after you've showered.
Exactly. It'll be interesting because it'll be like, is this how you store the weaponry or?
Another thing that's interesting though is that it's the mirror is in the center of the screen, and mirror images play a role throughout the trailer with regards to Skullface and Big Boss, and Snake smashing the mirror at the end of the trailer. All the reflections and mirror type stuff we've seen in Ground Zeroes, it just seems to be reinforcing that theme as well.
All right, let's keep going forward a little more.
Country was
You're going to see a lot of reflections and stuff like that in the game.
Okay, now this is the thing that interests me quite a bit. Now this is Snake reaching for a tape. Now I cannot make out. Okay.
It's the man who stole the world, David Bowie.
Okay, is that what it is?
Yeah.
Who stole? Yeah, you're absolutely correct. So surrounding this, we have his vape,
some ecstasy tablets there to the right.
The Phantom cigar is sitting next to the tape. We have some blue pills and just some other pills. We have some sutures, it looks like. And then there's, I can't tell, is that a Foxhound logo? Or Kojima Productions logo sitting on top of that left little
on the left
there? Yeah.
I'm not sure what it is. It looks like a... Hold on a second. I thought that was the Camp Omega fucking logo from Ground Zeroes.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it is, though.
And then we have blood splatter. And then it looks like... These tools look like if this is what you would pull a bullet out with. So if you look at the bullets laying on the... You know, maybe he was just drugged up.
idea.
And then pulled the bullet. I mean, obviously, these are all assumptions, but it's kind of interesting how this scene is just kind of presented this way.
Yeah, obviously, what the main focus is the tape and
native language.
I wondered does the lyrics of the song may have significance with regards to the story. Obviously, Diamond Dogs was the David Bowie album that, you know. Which is a concept album based on 1984. So there's tons of David Bowie, Diamond Dogs, double meanings going on in terms of the story. Maybe that song could very well have a meaning.
Do you recognize this track at all playing during this trailer, or do you think this is an original track by Ludwig?
Oh, I'm not sure. The song plays it says the title of the song at the end of the trailer.
I didn't.
So I don't think
catch it. Okay, so we'll catch it.
Child, his country, his family, his faith.
Okay, so who is that talking there? Let me.
Hold on.
He's talking during the tape while the tape is being picked up. So I'm going to rewind it real quick and play it again.
Foreign tongue. When he was a young boy, he lost his native language, the bedrock for any developing child.
Oh, okay. No, that can't be Ocelot.
It's Ocelot, yeah.
No.
It's Troy Baker, yeah.
Really? That sounds like Miller to me.
No, listen to it again. It's Ocelot.
Let me rewind it one more time.
Can kill.
Time and again, the country.
I wasn't sure at first, though. Even when I first watched the trailer, I was like,
he was a young boy.
Who's that generic American voice? And I was like, oh wait, no, it is
any developing child.
No, you're right. That is Ocelot. Now that I hear it again, it does. I don't know why, but I have a hard time in some of their dialogues. I get their voices mixed because of the way they deliver some of their lines. Are you hearing it again?
Yeah, I can hear it.
Okay. Let's keep going.
His country, his family, his face, his identity, everything was stolen from him.
Okay. So I'm pausing it here.
I was saying someone in the chat said it's Miller. It's definitely not Miller. It's definitely Ocelot if you listen to him.
Yeah, it is Ocelot. So on this scene here, he has the tape in the Walkman. He's set it down. You got the bullet sitting next to the Walkman. You have the bloody medical tools next to it. And then there's blood on the Walkman itself.
And the man who sold the world is inside the Walkman.
Yes. Yep. All right, let's keep going.
God damn, my stream just keeps buffering.
So during this part, I'll just explain this part because I'm not going to stop on this part, but it's just showing two scenes where the helicopter's just flying by. So it seems pretty clear to me that whenever you're on a mission, from the descriptions that I've read, whenever you go on a different mission, a different chapter, episode, whatever you want to call it, they actually have a specific name, but I forget. It shows a helicopter flyby every time, whether you leave or enter. There's the helicopter intro scene, so they're showing that twice. In between all of that, they're showing the hospital scene where they're trying to work on the boss.
Fuck, I wish my stream would fucking play properly.
Okay, now this is the part. God, this is. I'm not gonna lie. This particular scene, and I've paused it here so you can see it. Let me know when it's fixed.
Yeah.
The stream's fixed itself.
I might try and get a YouTube video up to play alongside it if anyone's uploaded it yet.
Yeah. Just hit my website.
Oh, did you upload it?
It's already up on YouTube.
All right, nice, okay.
Yeah. In my website, it's just the latest post, and I just embedded the video there. And I'll just tell you at what.
It'll actually make a lot more sense for me to watch it on YouTube video, so I won't be able to hear my own commentary over it when I try to watch the stream anyway.
Yeah.
1 second, guys. Sorry about this. My stupid internet.
Can I share my screen on Skype? I didn't know I could do that. Can I really, guys?
Yeah, you can share your monitor on Skype.
Would that help? Probably.
Oh, are you paused on the Kojima Productions logo?
Yes. So this is just. I really thought they would just let him have it. They would let him keep his original logo on there.
So I'm just intrigued. Like, what are the rules with regards to Kojima putting the Kojima Productions logo there? Is he allowed to just he's allowed to put the Fox logo there, but he just can't put his name there? It's interesting. I don't know.
Yeah, it's kind of boggles the mind. Are you pulling up the YouTube video?
Yeah, I have the YouTube video up now, so
okay,
I can.
So I'm at 1:24 right now.
Okay.
Minute 24.
All right.
Okay, so you're at the logo.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm at the logo.
I'm gonna play a little bit now. So, can you go ahead and go to 125?
Yeah. Yeah, I'll just play with you. You can talk about it, and I'll be able to tell what you're looking at by the way you're talking.
So I'm at 125. This scene shows Miller in the helicopter. Obviously, this is when he was rescued.
Yeah, it's the same scene from the last trailer, or from E3 2013.
If you'll notice this though, you can see through his shades.
Yeah.
And now, so when I remember you were streaming one of the original trailers, and you had happened to pause during the scene where Snake was putting the shades on Miller when he was still tied up to the pipes or whatever,
and his left eye looks totally busted.
But there's the scene later on in this trailer where they show both of his eyes,
and he looks blind.
He looks blind, and if you look through his shades here during this scene, he almost looks blind here.
Who knows? I'm not sure. Like, he looks in the scene in the trailer, where when you rescue him, like you see him, he can, like, his eyes. He looks like they've tried to take out his eyes. Like his left eye looks really busted up. It looks like he can't even open it. His left eye looks totally fucked. But it looks like his right eye isn't as bad. Right. But who knows? Maybe he was.
When did this happen? Did this happen during the escape? Or
who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe he did. Maybe when you rescue him, he is totally blind. But Another thing that I thought was interesting though was like was the Glaz and Politz mission in Ground Zeroes, that where you have where Glaz is Glaz wears Miller's sunglasses, and then you find out his backstory. He has a glass eye, and Politz has a prosthetic finger, and they it kind of draws parallels between Glaz and Politz and Miller and Big Boss. So once I did that mission and I said, Glaz has a glass eye, I said, I bet Miller is going to have a glass eye, or he's going to be partially blind in Phantom Pain, and it really seems like he's totally blind.
But what's interesting about the eye and the finger is that weren't both of those injuries self-inflicted?
Yeah, that was another thing that was interesting about it. Self-mutilation.
So, yeah, if they were self-inflicted, Miller wouldn't have done that to himself.
Yeah.
Unless he was forced to, right?
Mm. Who knows? Yeah, maybe he was forced to fucking take out his eyes. Who knows? But like, I don't think it necessarily means that Glaz and Politz's entire story has to be related to Big Boss and Miller. Like, they have to be exact copies of what they were. But it's just interesting that the game that it does draw some heavy similarities between the two.
Now, this next scene up towards 131 of the trailer, this scene is pretty. This is pretty interesting because you can tell, he's lifting up the arm.
We haven't seen that yet.
Yeah, so he's lifting up he's kind of rolling his hand through the arm of the jacket that is draped over him, almost like he's like it to me it's like him going, I don't have an arm. You know what I mean? Like, it's a little, again, very subtle,
it's from the same scene as in the last trailer as well. I think that it zooms in on the thing that's draped over his arm, and then it zooms in on the Diamond Dogs logo in the last scene.
Right.
So I think it's really when Miller is kind of just professing that they take revenge, and he's talking about everything that he's lost and everything.
So here, let me play that scene real quick. Yep, and so he lets that arm fall out of his hand, like the end of that sleeve fall out of his hand, and then he makes a fist. He makes a fist, and then if you look at his face, clearly this is the revenge. This is the revenge of him. You can tell he's like, they've taken my arm.
And then you see him hobbling along on the base. And Miller is fucked. Entire arm gone. Totally blind. God. Half a leg gone.
Since ancient times.
I really like what they've done with Miller's design, in this game.
Okay, so now I'm at 145, and now Snake is sitting down with Code Talker.
And he's smoking that thing the Code Talker was smoking.
Peace pipe? Yeah.
This ruler has had the same idea.
So, in the notes I've been reading about the game, and I don't know if you've read this or not.
Yeah, go ahead.
Have you heard about Snake suffering from hallucinations?
I'm not sure. I can't remember exactly what I read about it, but
okay, so
it's something
that he suffers from hallucinations, but there's hallucinations where I look at the scene with Ishmael, and I think, okay, is that just something that to me clearly is something he's just in his head, right? Because he's just, he's going through this whole traumatic thing. But then, is this something that he may be self-inducing because he's, I don't, smoking the peace pipe? Like, I don't know.
Well, that would be before maybe he sees some fucked up shit after he smokes the peace pipe.
Yeah, exactly, and that's what kind of
unite under one.
But I'd say a lot of the hallucinations are just from the because of the coma, and he's reliving things from his past, and he's seeing all this sort of the stuff that you see in the hospital intro. A lot of it seems like it could be not real, and other things that we've seen, the skull face and all that sort of stuff.
So the next scene we have here, so he's flying past Mother Base, obviously. And then the next scene we have here is Miller looks to be interrogating Quiet.
Stronger than this.
And then you have the scene after that Ocelot is, I'm guessing, injecting, what is it called? Like truth serum into
Huey.
Into Huey, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Like, what else would that be? Is that an assumption you would make, or?
I'm not sure what he's injecting into him, but
some of
it's obviously just torturing Huey, trying to get information out of him if he betrayed them or whatever.
All right, so
I think this next bit is really interesting.
So this scene
when Miller opens his eyes and look at the next little clip. Miller is on top of like a tower on top of Diamond Dogs, on top of the base, and it looks like he's the leader almost there.
Do you know what that reminds me of? And I know you're gonna give me shit for this, okay? But that particular scene and the way he looks and the way he's dressed reminds me, and I don't even remember the guy's name because I've honestly...
G Portable Ops, is it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what it reminds me of.
It's
like
he's wearing
given his speech. Remember in Portable Ops, whenever he's giving his speech to all his, all the different units around him?
Yeah.
And they're gathering him. That's what that scene reminds me.
Yeah, well, he's wearing the trench coat and he's wearing a beret. That's why it's this very similar character design.
And what do
Gene wears the foxhound, the long foxhound style trench coat, and he's wearing it. He wears the beret as well, so he, the character design is similar.
Okay, so I finally got to pause it on his eyes opening. So to me, I look at this scene with his eyes like that. To me, he looks completely blind.
Mm.
Like you look at his retinas, and they are just smoky. And
trying to pause it as well.
Yeah, it was kind of hard, but I mean, he looks completely blind.
What the fuck? This is difficult to pause it at this thing.
Yeah, it really is.
All right, I got it. Yeah, he looks totally blind. Is there any way they could be like glass eyes? I'm not really sure what glass eyes look like, but.
Well, and the other thing is too, though, what's interesting is, I remember when you did pause the scene when Snake was saving him, and you saw how damaged his retina was. His eyes don't look damaged here in that sense. Like they look fine. They just look cloudy. So
we'll need an expert who knows about damaged eyes, I think.
Right, but here's my total stretch conspiracy, whatever you want to call it. But are his eyes like this because he's being manipulated by someone somehow?
I wouldn't say so. I'd say I doubt he's like being possessed or anything like that. I'd say it's just that they're like fake eyes, glass eyes, or he's just totally blind based on being tortured. Or I wouldn't say it's him being controlled or anything.
All right. Okay, so
rules used to.
But yeah, I did not notice that was him standing on top of that tower.
I think it looks pretty epic there.
It does. When you have the 3 flying helicopters flying over the top, you have the Diamond Dogs flag waving in the background, and then you have all the soldiers at attention looking at him, clearly looking like he's giving some kind of speech.
Yeah,
people together.
I'm really interested to see what happens with Miller and Big Boss. How their relationship breaking down. Will Miller like assume control of Diamond Dogs, or what's gonna happen?
Yeah, and
you see them walking side by side, and then it says eye for an eye. And interestingly,
this world will.
That's interesting.
Come one.
Okay, so are you able to pause when that stretcher is going by chance to see, is that anyone significant?
Which scene?
Like right after Eye for an Eye, you see 2 MSF, what appears to be MSF soldiers taking another soldier. But it goes by so fast. I'm just wondering, are you able to see?
No, I don't think you can see who's on the stretcher.
Okay. So it's just going by too fast.
It just looks like random Diamond Dogs guys.
So here you have Snake doing some CQC with some soldiers. Now it's interesting because what I've read is when you're in Mother Base, soldiers will just come up to you and they'll ask to train with you. And so one of the things you can do is just, you know, kind of like the beginning in Peace Walker, where you're just like taking them down, and then they get right back up and they're like, "Thanks, boss."
Yeah,
you know, whatever. So
when you want to recruit people who want to join Mother Base in Peace Walker, you know, when you find soldiers and just kick their ass and then they join you.
Yeah.
Similar.
Well, what's interesting too is in this game is when you do this to soldiers, it will actually boost their stats when you do train with them. So
affiliation.
Yeah, I've heard that. Like, you know, they'll morale on the base. They want you to come back to the base all the time. Or else their morale will fall. And if you don't train with them, you know, they won't upgrade and all that stuff.
So I've never actually collected my thoughts on this scene here. And this scene was even shown in a previous trailer, where you have all the guards kind of like, and then I just
noticed something in the last scene, you know, when he's wrestling CQCing with the guys. Yeah. There's a poster in the background during that scene that says "Big Boss is watching you."
Is watching you, yeah.
I didn't notice. I just noticed that now. Yeah. And then there's another one. There's another one to the left of that with just the Diamond Dogs logo on it that says "Big Boss something you" as well.
Yep. So
and apparently these are posters that you can like find within the game, and then you can put them up on Mother Base. But yeah, anyway, continue what you were saying.
No, yeah. So that's interesting. Yeah, people have actually been tweeting that a lot on my Twitter feed, that Big Boss is watching you. It's kind of interesting. Now, do you think I can't, especially having, you know, I love Peace Walker. I absolutely love Peace Walker. But to me, Peace Walker is the way they set up the game is you're off doing the missions while Miller is completely taking care of Mother Base for you. And then every person you recruit has their allotted assignment at Mother Base, right? So do you think that's something I can't imagine that's something that Big Boss is like, yeah, I need posters around with pictures of me telling them I'm watching.
No, I think that's
something Miller did, right?
I don't think so. I think that's just totally player controlled, almost Easter egg style. That you and I've read this in one of the previews that
I must have missed that.
That you can find posters of you know, half naked women and stuff like that, and put them up on Mother Base. And so I think all those posters are just going to be they're not really going to have any story influence, and it's just the player decorating Mother Base.
That'll be interesting. So I wonder if you collect those posters from the different areas you visit, like villages.
Yeah, I would assume so. Just as little, you know, collectibles / Easter egg things.
That's neat. Dude, how fun is it going to be to explore every inch of this game? It's going to be, oh my God, it's going to be insane. Okay, so affiliation. The next scene. This next scene, I've never been able to make 2 cents of this scene because I showed this in the previous trailers, but this is
This is different though.
It is. But you know what's interesting though? To me, the color scape of the scene, it has to mean something. Whenever the scene is predominantly red, it has to be the negative overtones that it portrays has to mean something.
Yeah. The red symbolizes, you know, the revenge and all of that.
So after that, you have the scenes of all of the Diamond Dog soldier caskets.
Yeah.
Laying on top there on one of the platforms in Mother Base, and then burning the caskets. Now, are these the bodies of the result of Snake mass killing people? Because they were, quote unquote, like what you were saying, in their zombie state?
I wouldn't. Who knows? We really have I wouldn't be able to. I don't know how to speculate about this because we really have not. I don't think we have too much context for it, or there's really not much that we could say to really back up what we're talking about. But who knows? I really have no idea.
So
when how those soldiers die, when they die, what part of the story, who knows?
Well, I think it's safe to assume that all those caskets came from that particular scene.
I don't know.
I mean, that's a lot of MSF soldiers in that hallway that are dead. And in that scene where Snake kills, 4 right there? 3 that were holding on to him, and then the one walking past in that zombie.
I kind of got the impression, though, that was kind of Snake murdering Diamond Dog soldiers would be kind of maybe, more towards the end of the game, and it wouldn't be something that he would then be honoring. I think that would be, Snake towards the end, not really giving a fuck. But
yeah.
I couldn't imagine that they're having this ceremony for soldiers that Snake has killed. I can't see that happening, even if it is some sort of mercy killing. But I know
that's what I was going to say. What if his hand was forced, though?
Yeah. I know I can't.
That is their way of honoring him.
I can't see that, but really, I just don't think we have too much context for what's going on. So I have no idea.
Okay, so this next scene, you have Snake. He appears to be talking with.
Is he talking to Ocelot, and then is Miller behind?
Yeah, and Miller's behind him. I don't know. Is this the same scene you think that has been shown in previous trailers? Where they seem to be standing next to the same power grid that is found where Paz is being chained up. It's that same type of wall. If you look at that wall, it's like a power grid or whatever.
Yeah,
it looks like they're in the same type of room or whatever.
It kind of looks like the same area as well, where Miller and Big Boss are kind of standing. They look like they're kind of having an argument with each other.
Right.
But one thing that I speculated about a long time ago, it's not really speculation, it's something that I kind of, in the story that I imagined happening, was Ocelot exposing Miller for who he is. His direct link with Cypher, because Ocelot was with Zero and now he's with Snake. Miller knows about the clones behind Big Boss's back. He works with Zero a lot more closely than Big Boss lets on. He works closely with Zero behind his back to some extent. He said he's a business partner, but he knows that Sigint is working on the AIs. He knows about Zero's plans. He knows about the clones. He's not telling this to Big Boss at all. So there's a good chance that Ocelot wouldn't kind of maybe know about Miller's affiliations and maybe expose it. And there's definitely going to be like a fallout between Big Boss and Miller, where Big Boss has to find out about that Miller knew all this stuff. He has to find out about his working with Zero, I think.
Well,
and Ocelot and Big Boss's relationship, I'd imagine, will be, a friendly one. They'll just become more like allies, while Big Boss and Miller become more like enemies. Well, and that's what that scene kind of looks like to me, but who knows?
Well, I definitely think we're going to see more and more, because I don't believe we've seen. Well, I know we haven't seen any of this up to this point, but there's going to be, because we know the history behind Ocelot and him basically worshiping the boss.
Yeah,
is in this game they have to show that, like him. I mean, clearly he's doing everything and anything for the boss.
Who are you talking about here?
Ocelot.
Zero.
Oh, Ocelot.
Oh, Ocelot for Snake, you mean?
Yes.
Yes.
So
it has to show Ocelot's real just reverence for Snake, that he's kind of doing anything for him. But it can't be Ocelot without some sort of conspiracy behind it in some way.
Exactly. But to your point, though, I could definitely see him like exposing Miller.
Yeah, that's something it's something I kind of want to see.
Absolutely. Because what loyalty does he have to Miller? He has no loyalties towards Miller.
Yeah.
Where he has nothing but absolute worship for Snake. So, it'll be interesting. So, this definitely looks like they're discussing.
I'm not saying this scene is what's going on, what I just spoke about, but it just gives us a chance to talk about the dynamic between Ocelot, Big Boss, and Miller.
Not only that, but if you actually hit play and then go up to 215, just look at the way Snake turns around.
Yeah.
And looks at Miller.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's what it does imply. It does look like, what? Like, we've been doing this all along, sort of thing.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so obviously this next scene was just like, I was like, what? Mammopod? Like,
yeah,
a reality, and it will make
I shouldn't be surprised because this game directly follows up Peace Walker, but like
mankind whole.
What does this mean?
Well, over the what's it, the dialogue that's playing over this is Zero, isn't it? Talking about the boss, and you know he's basically wants to create the AIs based off the boss's will, which I think Strangelove, you know, there's a good chance Strangelove has to be in the game working with Zero, because if Zero wants to create, you know, an AI based off the boss, who's the person, you know, that we already know.
So are you assuming that is the AI then?
I have no idea. I haven't really.
That is the collected AI that walked into the ocean.
I guess it is. What else is it gonna be?
Right. I mean, what?
So they managed to get the boss AI back, but this is Diamond Dogs. What are they gonna do with it?
Exactly. I don't know. And then that scene's followed up with the words across the screen saying "pain for pain."
Yeah, it's saying, what is it saying? Eye for eye, pain for pain, skull for skull. Just once again, this kind of mirror image thing, I guess.
I mean, revenge. I think. I don't know. I mean, I can't say this without actually having him play the game. But like, God, just the theme of revenge is going to be so strong. It seems like on so many different levels. So here, you have the scene of Ocelot and Snake in his
looking at Paz's V symbol.
Yeah.
What's this all about? Obviously, it's a total recreation of what we saw in Ground Zeroes. This is, you know, Paz being stitched up with the V symbol. That's where the bomb was. But here we see this recreation of Paz, and we see this recreation of the fucking stitching and the bomb as well. So what does this mean?
So they appear to be in quite a nice medical facility, and then you have what appears to be Snake waving his hand in front.
Yeah,
it could be a medical person. Who knows who it is?
It just looks like it's kind of testing to see if Paz can respond to what he's doing. Right. And she just looks not unreal or in a daze.
And then the next, I mean, okay, so do you want to elaborate on that scene in particular? Like, what are your theories? What are your thoughts behind it?
Is it just
impossible? Yeah.
I have no idea.
Because we played Ground Zeroes. We saw how that played out. I thought, okay, finally, I have closure with Paz now. I know what happens with her. I've listened to the tapes. Obviously, I know what was done to her. But now you have this scene. What?
I'm partly not too surprised by it, based on one thing, is that Tara Strong on Twitter hinted that she had, or someone, or maybe it was the Japanese voice of Paz, or something to do with the voice actors. I remember hearing.
I know what you're talking about.
That something was implied that Paz would have more dialogue in the Phantom Pain. So I said,
that's exactly.
Is it going to be cassettes, or like even with Ground Zeroes, I've kind of felt, you know, is what we're seeing fully real? Is Skullface real? What's actually going on? It seems like there's going to be a lot of mind fuckery in the game. So
Skullface has to be real.
I don't know.
Real. He has to. I totally see, because okay, if you compare so I keep drawing parallels to Ground Zeroes. Okay, I've played Ground Zeroes. I've seen how that's played out. I have that to me I feel like, okay, that's solid ground, that's solid foundation I can go off of. But then I look at this trailer, and every scene you see where Skullface is with Snake, it's almost as if that's just a different representation of himself, like you said. So
yeah,
it has to be him. I mean, he went to Camp Omega. He dropped the cassette tape there for Chico. I mean, that happened.
I'm not saying that he's fully not real. Like, he could. I just think that a lot of Skullface's character is
you know, he's being portrayed just as this mirror image to Snake. We have him in Ground Zeroes impossibly quoting Big Boss from Peace Walker, which is just totally supernatural. He's repeating the things that Snake used to say. In a scene coming up in this trailer, he appears out of nothing. He appears out of nothing, and then he completely disappears right behind Snake, which is totally unreal and totally supernatural.
So I have no idea what scene you're talking about there. So
wait till you see it. It's
okay. So So do you want to elaborate on the whole Paz thing, or are you just like, we're just gonna have to play it? We're just gonna have to play it to find out.
Yeah, I don't have any
assumptions.
I have no assumptions. Well, I guess you know the obvious one is that whatever they've created some android clone of Paz, but you know, who knows? I really I've nothing really for it.
Here, I'm gonna paste a couple images in chat real quick, and I'm gonna send this to you in our chat. I want you to check this out. This was just put on Twitter real quick, but it's kind of interesting. So that's one of the posters that you mentioned that are kind of scattered all over the base. And
yeah.
And then here's another one. This one's hard to make out. I don't know, but it's kind of interesting. But
it looks like a helmet or something. I'm not sure what it is.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. Okay,
but so another thing that's interesting about the Paz thing is that it seems to be that they have this whole recreation of the bomb as well. Like she's stitched up. It's clearly Paz stitched up with a V symbol again in the Phantom Pain. Why are they just making this? You know, not only are we seeing another Paz in the Phantom Pain, we're seeing another Paz stitched up with a bomb inside her with a V symbol again. It's like it's like a total recreation of what happened in Ground Zeroes almost.
Right.
I really have no idea what could be going on there.
This to me, this whole scene with I was just thinking to myself, I was just like, what is he like? No, he can't do this to me. I've played Ground Zero. Like I don't know. It's just really confusing. Okay, let's just move on then. Because I'm going to think about this scene more, and I know I'm going to come up with something, but unfortunately, it's all just kind of grand conclusions.
And the next scene is also very interesting, that it has the headphone jack.
Yeah, so have you had any thoughts around that?
No, you know, obviously it brings back memories of Ground Zeroes. Chico pulling out the headphones from his stomach, and you know it's one of the things that everyone asks about in Ground Zeroes, because it's one of the things that they never really hint towards what it could mean, or they don't answer. You know, why is Chico pulling a headphone jack out of his stomach? And it's always been something that I thought would be expanded on in the Phantom Pain. It's just like they're not going to just leave this random scene of Chico pulling this headphone jack out of his stomach. It's just like, what's that all about? I always thought that whatever that was meant to mean, it would be expanded on in the Phantom Pain. But once again, I have no idea what it's supposed to mean here.
Yeah, he's pulling it out of a slit in his neck. Like, it's like, okay, that follows. What?
And then he pulls something.
Okay, so then this next scene is very interesting. Very interesting. So this is Snake carrying Quiet.
Yeah, who knows what happens there. Maybe based off what you do with Quiet.
I don't know if you noticed this, but if you play that scene and you look around her, she's smoking.
She is pretty hot. Okay.
But do you notice that though?
No, I can't. Oh, yeah, she is. She's like steaming. Holy shit! Yeah, I didn't notice that.
Okay. I don't know. What are your theories behind her powers? Anything?
I have nothing.
Nothing. All right.
I haven't. It's not something I thought about or I'm too interested in. I'll wait until I play the game.
So this next scene is very interesting. This is clearly Snake pulling off this just looks to be a medical sheet or whatever off of. I'm guessing that's an MSF soldier.
It's the same guy that he took the
the
headphones out of, and he seems to have whatever that is.
Is that the same disease or injuries that Skullface had?
I'm not sure. It reminds me of. I assume that's the same scene as in the last trailer. You know, when Snake is over the body of someone who looks very similar, and he takes out a knife, and he looks like he's going to cut him open.
Right.
I assume that's the same scene.
Any assumptions on what is an alien going to pop out of his chest?
I have absolutely no idea about what that is.
And then
Any
the
speculation?
words after that, no, I have no idea. And the words after that is skull for skull. And then here, oh wow, I didn't notice this. So all of these 4 figures here in this next scene, in scene 2 minutes and 41 seconds, they all appear to be completely cloaked.
And then they just stealth camo pretty much. And they look pretty cool. They look like what is the other one? The other one's called the Skull Faces troops. They have tattoos on their
name though. There's another name they go by. I forget the name now, and I read it in the previews. But I wonder if the skulls are the male versions, and these are called differently.
Notice how these ones look like they have an eye patch over the right eye. I think that's what they're getting at. Obviously, Snake is an eye patch over his right eye, and these ones have the tattoos on their heads, just like the male ones. So yeah, it just seems like these are like the female versions of the ones that we've seen already.
Right.
Or they were created the same way somehow. I think that's interesting that they all have eye patches, just as it makes them seem like some sort of reflection of Big Boss again.
So this scene, I'm trying to go frame by frame here. This scene seems to be more whoever materializing. You see what I'm saying? Like that very beginning of this scene, you see those 2 people almost in a zombie state.
I need to go back to my video. Oh, after that scene.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. I see the 2 guys.
And in the distance, you see Snake sitting next to that down
It's
helicopter.
next to it's quiet. The person that he's beside. It's quiet. It looks like quiet when she's kind of transforming, and you can kind of see the red. You can kind of see underneath her skin. It looks like they just spawn. You can see.
Yeah.
You can see that it's quiet. It's closed.
Now, did they come in that helicopter, or does it look like that helicopter's been there?
No, it looks like they just appeared. At least it does to me. Hold on, I'm just gonna go back. I wonder
look at all of these people like appearing here with her same type of powers.
Yeah. It kind of reminded me of like Terminator or something, all those android clones. And the flashing red eye. It definitely seems like a Terminator reference. And then you see these guys tripping out in the storm.
Right. Wow, like one of those guys is just like up to his waist, it is materialized, but then waist up, he's just a bloody mess. It's like his skin hasn't even totally finished, coming together. So this next scene, I thought, oh, that's just a bionic arm. But it looks really weird. It's like a bionic arm floating in dust or something.
Yeah, it looks like something out of Shadow of the Colossus or something. That's what it reminded me of.
Doesn't it look like a bionic arm?
Well, I'm just gonna take another look at it. Yeah, it does. It looks like a hand or a big arm or something.
Right.
Some sort of. It kind of looks like stone almost, but it's probably some sort of machine.
So this undoubtedly has to be the skulls.
Yeah,
And this looks.
It's the same. It's the same thing that you see in the other trailer, where they kind of start tripping out and then they jump into the air.
What's interesting in this, though, because when you've seen them in the original trailer, they had this same type of jerky movement, kind of crazy, crazy movement. But in this one, they appear to be wearing like what, night vision?
Yeah, they look like the night vision goggles or something.
Yeah,
there's so many cool designs in this game.
I know. I also wonder though if this scene is that same scene. It's just been, how do you want to say? It's been updated or polished.
It looks like a different setting though. The last one definitely, it definitely looked like Afghanistan sandstorm. This one the setting looks different. I think I'm just gonna take another look at it. Oh yeah, well maybe it could be, and they just totally changed how this.
It looks like the exact same scene. Like they're all kind of moving jerky around, and then the middle guy jumps up. That happens almost exactly in the original trailer.
Who knows? Maybe they just completely changed the tone of the scene.
Right.
I really love just the lighting and everything.
I think Yoji Shinkawa had a lot of fun with this game.
Yeah.
With the character designs and everything. Okay, so this scene appears to me... This scene is interesting because if you look at the spikes coming up out of the ground, do these not look like the horn that's coming out of his head?
1 second. I just need to catch up with you here.
I know this is a stretch, but that's what it looks like to me.
Let me see. I'm almost there. Gigantic horns chasing Snake.
Right?
1 second. It kind of does. It looks like the same. Whatever the whatever the texture of the horn is, it actually looks the same.
So at first, I thought, remember the footage we saw during TGS? Whenever Quiet was scurrying around the map, you see kind of a dust trail. I thought that's what this was. He was driving around. I thought, oh, it's Quiet following him wherever he's going. But this to me is like, is this like a nightmare sequence he's going through? Is this one of his hallucinations?
I'm just paused.
If you pause it anywhere during this scene, this looks like demon horns coming out of the road.
Yeah, it looks like demon horns coming out of the ground after him. I agree. Who knows what's going on here though?
And then if you look at his face in the Jeep at that very end scene, I mean, look at it. He's obviously going through some kind of struggle there.
Yeah, they're coming up right beside him.
Right.
Snake being chased by fucking devil horns coming out of the ground. Kojima, what are you doing?
I think about this scene, and I think I'll tell you the one scene that has fascinated me since day one was the scene of Snake running out of that hospital and that fire whale engulfing that helicopter. And I'm just like, how the hell is he going to explain this scene? Like, I would love to know how he's going to explain the scene. And I thought to myself, well, he's never will explain this scene because that scene will never exist in the final game. Because it was all part of the whole Moby Dick Studios.
Oh, I don't think so. Moby Dick is going to be a huge part of the game.
It will be. It will be. I'm convinced. And now I see scenes like this, which that doesn't happen in real life. So like this has to be like some kind of, this is in his head, right?
I imagine there's going to be a lot of hallucinations and a lot of stuff that is going to make you question, is this actually happening or is it in Snake's head? You're going to see a lot of supernatural type of stuff and a lot of stuff that isn't going to be explained.
I mean, just playing that scene over, it looks insane, that scene.
Yeah.
It just looks crazy. Okay, so let's move on.
I see just a lot of like Silent Hill-ish type of supernatural symbolism that's just basically showing what's going on inside his head, or something to that extent. Moby Dick references that are that relate to the revenge themes and all that sort of stuff. a lot of it is going to be left open. You know, it's just going to be a lot of symbolism unexplained.
And what is just blowing my mind is like, this is what he's showing us.
Yeah.
Like, I can't wait to play. I mean, that goes without saying, but it's just like, I can't wait to see this all play out. Okay, let's go to the next scene. Okay, this scene is really weird, and I really need to watch this scene a few times.
There's something outside the window that is difficult to see. I need to pause.
So here you have a bunch of random soldiers. Some of them appear to be soldiers with either flamethrowers or something, and they're all just getting wrecked one by one. But what is doing it?
1 second. Oh, yeah.
So these, I just paused it on a really good frame. These soldiers are wearing the exact same gear as a soldier. This has to be from the hospital. This has to be from the hospital.
You're excited. Let me see.
No, this has to be. There's fire. I'm looking at the walls. I'm looking at this. This has to be. Because I know for a fact these guards are dressed exactly the same as the soldiers that are in during that massacre.
Yeah. There's a if you pause at 304, there's a helicopter inside the building.
Yeah.
There's a helicopter. It just looks like it spawned inside the hallway or something. Looks weird. Art just came through the building.
Is that the helicopter that got engulfed by the whale and now it's plowing through the hospital? I have no idea. But like, that is definite. That has to be somewhere near the hospital. It has to be.
Oh,
okay.
The next scene is interesting.
Yeah. So you got what? What appears is that's Snake.
Yeah, Snake quiet.
Kind of mask? Is he wearing a mask? It looks like he's wearing a mask.
No, he's not. He's inside. He's inside a chopper with Quiet, and the chopper is getting thrown around. Is that what you're looking at?
No, that scene. Right, it's where the it's like Snake is pointing at a soldier that is bursting into flames. And he's walking.
Oh, I see what you're looking at. And he's just coming outside of some sort of gate type area, and he's on fire.
If you look at that very beginning scene, it's like Snake's just pointing at him, and he's wearing. Yeah, it looks like he's wearing a surgical mask.
Hold on, I'm not sure if I noticed Snake just pointing at him.
It's at the very. It's like the very. First
yeah. It's like I think he's aiming. I think he's just aiming in that direction. I think he's holding a gun and he's aiming in that direction.
Is that a gun in his hand? Okay, maybe. Yeah, you're right. That is a gun in his hand.
Yeah.
It's really hard to see because of the lighting.
All right. Yeah. The next scene is the one I was talking about.
So what do you think's going on here?
And the one in the guy on fire?
Yeah. Where is this even taking place? Is this in the hospital again? Or no, it can't be.
I have no idea. I have no speculation for this. This looks like another thing that's impossible to. We have no context for it.
So we have very well endowed Quiet here in a helicopter with Snake, and it appears to be they're going down.
And then there's some sort of giant mech outside the window at 314. If you look at 314, there's some huge.
Oh my god! What the fuck is that?
Yeah, it looks like a giant. It looks like a giant mech man thing. It looks like a giant super soldier type thing.
Yeah. It looks like
if you pause several times during 314, you'll see it in different ways.
It's like,
or maybe it's not. Maybe it looked giant the way I saw.
Yeah. I think it just looked giant. I think it's a different version of the skulls.
Yeah.
Or a member of the Insane Clown.
Yeah.
It looks like he was hanging. It looks like he was hanging off the helicopter.
Yeah.
That's why you see him next to the window.
Maybe he was attacking the helicopter or something.
Yeah,
I thought he was huge when I first saw him, but once I've paused it a couple times, I think he's normal size.
At first you look at him and you're like, is that State Puff Man or what?
Yeah.
Oh my god, he looks so creepy. Ooh, I paused that. Yeah, that's definitely a soldier of some type. because I paused it at a pretty decent. Are you able to see my stream right now?
1 second. Someone in the chat. It's Fat Man. Fat Man is chasing him down.
Look at that frame I have paused though.
1 second.
You can see that. I think that's the best I could probably capture.
Yeah, that looks good. I really like all these Android type designs. They're really cool.
This thing looks like it's straight out of Doom. What in the hell?
The skulls are fun to fight.
Wow. All right, so he falls away back from the helicopter. So obviously he was attacking the helicopter, it seems. That's what's causing him to go down. Yeah. And I wonder if that's the follow-up scene to what we were seeing with them sitting next to the helicopter and then all the zombies approaching them. I wonder if I wonder if that scene is just really we're seeing that backwards. So the scene, you know, when they were sitting next to the helicopter. Yeah. I wonder if this is what happened really before that scene.
That's actually a good theory. It looks like a similar sort of setting. That's the crashed helicopter, and that's Quiet and Big Boss after the helicopter crash.
Yes.
And maybe the skulls jumping up into the air, but is before the helicopter goes down, and that's because of it. And then you land with Quiet, and then you have to take out the skulls or something. That's like that. Yeah, that's a pretty good theory.
Interesting. All right, so let's go to the next scene.
That does look likely because the settings do look similar, and you do see the crashed helicopter with Big Boss and Quiet both outside of it.
Whenever you have to tell yourself when you're watching one of Kojima's trailers, he's setting these scenes up the way he wants you to see them. But that does not mean that's how they're playing out.
Yeah. You gotta, certain things are definitely supposed to mislead you. Like I remember in one of the, I think it was the Peace Walker trailer, like he made something seem like totally different to how it plays out in the actual story.
Yeah.
But
all right, let's keep.
But there are definitely things that that you can figure out.
So this scene right here, it just looks so out of place. And this is Snake sitting in the back of the Jeep with Skullface.
Yeah.
And
this looks like it might be leading up to the scene where Skullface and Big Boss get off the Jeep together
in front of.
And those are Skullface's soldiers. Those are XOF soldiers. Look at the, like you can tell by the helmets. So this looks like it could be leading up to Big Boss and Skullface going to Skullface's base or something like that. Wait, Big Boss looks like he's like he's not even listening there. He just which looks kind of interesting. It really makes the whole scene looks kind of unreal.
And this is interesting because we saw the Zoff unit or whatever they're called, the Zoff soldiers with Skullface. But this was again, I'm looking back to Ground Zeroes. And then obviously this is all before, like this is when Snake is still part of MSF. And now in this scene, clearly he's part of Diamond Dogs. He has a shrapnel in his eye, DD symbols on his shoulder, and now he's sitting with Skullface. And
America is a country of liberty. A meeting of immigrants.
Yeah, who knows? How does I don't know.
So okay, here's this scene where Eli's getting up out of his plastic chair, and then there appears to be there's a dead hog's head with flies rolling around it.
Similar to it looks like it's what happens after you see him in the plastic chair in the last trailer.
Mm-hmm.
Continue.
Sorry. No, sorry. I keep interrupting you. Go ahead.
I was just saying. I was just commenting on saying that it's the same scene from the 2013 trailer. You can see is the same thing behind him and everything. This is probably where you encounter him as well.
So this is going to sound like a dumb question, but I just wanted to get this out of the way. Are you convinced that Eli is liquid?
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Okay. So without a doubt, 100% you think that's liquid?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
But then again, we do see the thing at the end of the trailer where it looks like we see multiple liquids. So we're definitely going to see some form of liquid in the game. And this guy right here, he's portrayed to be liquid. You're supposed to. When we play the game with
everything, right?
Yeah, Like he's, he looks the right age. He's buff. He's blonde with a blonde mullet. He's wearing the same gloves that he wore on MGS1. He has the jackal's teeth necklace, which is a reference to MGS1. He has Liquid's people written on his back in Japanese. He's a pig with an eye patch on his back. We know how Liquid viewed Big Boss as a child. He hated him. So the pig with an eye patch is obviously supposed to represent Big Boss, how he views him. The David and Eli religious reference, that David and Eli were brothers. There just seems to be so much going for it. And when you just look at him as well, just this blonde kid with the mullet, that face has to be him.
Okay. Hold on. I feel like I'm being trolled.
But then again, we are seeing Paz in the Phantom Pain again, so anything's possible. But okay. You would imagine that Eli is definitely gonna be Liquid, unless something fucking crazy happens. But regarding his character, but I'd imagine we will see simply.
Okay, so it shows Eli Liquid standing up, shows the hog, then it quickly changes to a scene with Quiet,
its citizens,
and her black splatter whatever effect goes on her eyes.
Live alongside,
and then then it cuts to a scene with Code Talker, and he's smoking the peace pipe. You know what's interesting in this scene? If you look at Code Talker, his eyes look exactly like Miller's.
I was saying that before as well during the trailer. When you get a real close up of Code Talker in the other trailer, if you look at the 2013 trailer, it really
in this though. Even in this trailer, when it zooms in on him here,
he's blind.
The eyes look exactly the same.
Yeah. So Code Talker is blind as well.
Okay, so this is something we've never talked about. So everyone's just like, "This is Vulcan. This is Vulcan." I don't think people realize how old Vulcan would be if this was Vulcan.
I don't think people.
I think this is just a manifestation of Vulcan created by Mantis. That's my theory.
I don't think it's necessarily Mantis. I think it just could be some form of hallucination that Big Boss is seeing. Something that's, who knows how it's going to be explained, if it ever is. If they ever just flat out say, what you're seeing is a hallucination brought up by Mantis or whatever, but it's definitely supposed to be some sort of manifestation of Vulcan. I doubt it. It physically is him.
But it's him. It's him.
Yeah.
Like without a doubt, it matches everything that Vulcan looked like in the last encounter.
Oh yeah, it is. It is some form of him. Yeah. Yeah. Looks exactly like it is some sort of form of Vulcan. He's wearing the exact same battle suit. He puts his hands in the same position on the action figure thing that they've shown, and same build, same suit.
Okay, chat, before you're freaking out, guys, I will play this trailer again in its entirety. I will loop it 100 million times. We're just breaking down this trailer because, to be honest, I played this trailer for like a half hour straight after it was released. So, play second trailer. So people are saying there's a second trailer, an extended cut. Can someone link it to me?
What?
Jesus Christ. Yeah, that's what people are saying. Oh my God, there is. Okay, we need to watch this right now. Oh, for fuck's sake. Okay, can you pause that? I have mine paused. Yeah. Okay, you ready to watch this next one?
Yeah, go for it.
Here. I'm going to send you a link.
Send me a link of it, actually.
Yeah. Yes. That way you don't have to worry about buffer issues. Okay. I'll play this new trailer, guys. Give me a second. God damn it. An extended trailer? Are you kidding me? Oh. Kojima, please. Why do you do this to me? Okay. I need to... I think chat's been telling us this for like the past ever, and we were just going off on our own.
Is it another 9-minute fucking trailer?
Yeah, hold on, guys. All right, I'm gonna play this trailer now. Jesus Christ, chat's probably been like, guys, shut the fuck up and watch.
Oh, it's not a re-edit. It's just another. It's a short trailer.
Short trailer or just an extended?
Someone just linked one in the chat and says it's like 1 minute. It's 1 minute 24 seconds.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna play it on stream now, guys. Let me take away my overlays. Okay.
He's putting that Kojima logo there again.
Okay. Playing
It seems
it
to
now,
be
guys. All right, I'm playing it.
This is more of an advertisement trailer. It looks.
Fucking awesome.
Shoots the cigar.
Yes. All right, I'm gonna play that one more time. Oh my god. I love how he sticks his head out. He's just like, here you go. Take a shot. Oh, amazing. Amazing.
Another thing that I just reminded of, we were talking about the scene where the skulls jump up into the air.
Yes.
And we're saying how it looks different to the E3 thing. The thing is, when we play the game, but we were forgetting, I'm not sure if you know, you probably do, is that cutscenes will play out with completely different lighting because the cutscenes will change depending on when you trigger them.
Absolutely.
So that should be something which should be fun to mess around with, to see what lighting suits cutscenes better when you want to do a certain mission. When you're it'll give more replay value to it, and especially for us when we do story playthroughs and stuff, deciding which cutscene looks best during the day and night.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I mean, even in the scenes where we see Snake going in to rescue Kaz, like that could all be played out during the daytime. Mm-hmm. So yeah, okay. So I still have the video paused at the man on fire scene.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. 1 second, let me just go back to it.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
so guys, we're gonna break this down. We're gonna finish breaking this down, and then we're gonna go on to the extended one, and we'll talk about that. But go ahead.
Yeah, obviously it just looks like it looks, that's from the hospital intro or something. Something that looks similar to what we've seen before.
But yeah, I don't really just blown out on that.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah, I don't have much to say really, other than pointing that out.
So after that, you have Ocelot's showing his skills with his
used information,
odd-looking revolver, and then I love this next scene, and this is showing what clearly appears to be young Psychomantis.
Yeah,
to control the subconscious.
Oh, so I know I'm stating the obvious here, but I just noticed in this scene. Okay, remember the scene we saw where Snake they were burning the caskets with the soldiers in them. Notice the building behind Snake in this scene.
Which scene?
So if you go to 334.
Yep.
It's the classic scene of Snake looking down and he has the ashes smeared across his face. That's clearly the same area where they were, and that's probably obviously it all makes sense. The ashes from that, and then they're bringing it over to Snake, who's over here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, same.
In his eyes,
you can also see Huey behind him in that scene. You didn't see that last time. I don't think you saw that in the last one.
He was not in that scene before. Only Miller,
you can,
right?
I can't remember.
I think it was only Miller.
Yeah, you had the same scene with the close-up, and now you see Ocelot and Huey behind him.
So in this next scene, you have it just appears to be a beat-up Snake. Diamond Dog's logo on
the greatest
symbiotic. This is in the same. This is the bathroom, isn't it? From what we saw earlier.
It looks like it. Yeah.
Yeah, you see the white curtains next to
the world's ever known isn't microbial. It's linguistic. Words are what keeps civilization, our world.
And then you have Quiet
alive.
I love that scene. I love how that is shot. With it pulling back on her while she has her eyes closed.
Free the world, not by taking men's lives, but by taking their tongues.
What a great shot. And then here, clearly, it looks like somehow Eli has gotten access to this
Zeke
version.
Yeah. And you see Big Boss running away from it. Which is inside. That scene takes place in the same place where Skullface and Big Boss get out. The Jeep scene where they both get off the Jeep together. That's the hangar. That's the hangar.
Zeke hangar, basically.
That's the Zeke hangar. And now you see Big Boss in that same area running away from Zeke. And it has to be some form of Zeke because Skullface likely seized it, and you have you can see the legs. Zeke has very, very particular legs. Like the body looks like Rex, but the legs.
The head does.
Yeah. But that's what I mean when I say when I say body, I meant the head. Yeah. The head looks exactly like Rex, but the body and the legs look exactly like Zeke.
And for people who don't pay attention, that's because during Metal Gear Solid 3, God, I'm so bad with names. What's his face sent over the plans to the American who was Grannon sent the plans to Huey. Yeah. So that's why in this game it starts to adapt that look.
Yeah.
Rid the world of it.
It's kind of like
and this is the bipedal. This is the whole bipedal.
It's kind of like the birth of Rex started in MGS3, and then slowly it works its way up until it becomes actual Rex.
Right.
Infestation.
So what do you make of this scene with Snake upside down?
I just think it's another.
It's just crazy. It's like, what is going on?
It's like he's Skullface has him tied up or something, but I think it's more symbolic that it's once again mirror image type yin yang duality between Skullface and Big Boss. Mirror image.
But why is he hanging upside down?
Who knows? Maybe he's tied. Maybe he's tied by a rope.
Because one of the things that obviously threw me off,
he's shaking his head, and you can see something falling from. You can see dust falling from the ceiling, so it looks like he's caught. He's hanging.
Yeah, exactly. It looks like he's caught in the tree traps, like in 3. And then you look at Skullface. It almost looks like he's grinning. Oh, yeah. That's kind of weird. But it looks like clearly he's just like, I got you. But
yeah.
Lingua franca. The world.
Interesting. And then here you have Snake running away from this Rex Zeke, like Indiana Jones style. But it's kind of funny because it looks like he's stuck. Eli's stuck between the rocks. And look at it. I mean, you can just tell.
Yeah, it's stuck. That's obviously...
He's trying to kill him.
Yeah.
In this scene. He is trying to kill him.
Notice when... it looks like... that looks pretty epic, though. 12-year-old Liquid chasing after his father, trying to kill him inside Zeke.
Yeah.
And then...
but
notice how...
saying... Go ahead. Sorry.
Notice how Snake is running out. It looks like the Afghanistan location that he's running out from. Remember Skullface and Big Boss in the Jeep in Afghanistan, with that scene where where Skullface is speaking to him, and it looks like they're on their way to Skullface's base. And that's obviously in Afghanistan, and this is when he comes out of the base, and he's back out into the open in Afghanistan.
Yeah. Oh, without a doubt, that's where that scene is taking place.
Yeah,
it's kind of interesting. Someone in chat said, that scene where you saw that huge bionic arm from earlier? That hand was holding Big Boss upside down. That's what someone is saying.
Oh, really? I didn't notice.
That's what someone is saying. That's kind of an interesting theory.
The next scene in the trailer is the same thing from the E3 2013 trailer, I think, where Big Boss is firing the M4 at the camera or whatever the assault rifle is.
Let me get
to that. It looks very different. Like the lighting and everything looks different, but I think it's the same scene.
Yeah, it's definitely the same scene.
Yeah, it's like he pauses the same.
I love the guitar hit on that.
That's when Big Boss on this is the one that reminded me so much of PT. This hallway.
Oh yeah.
Look at remember the red swinging light in PT, and remember the lamp. Remember the lamp? Look at the lamp on the left in front of Snake. It looks just like that lampshade in PT.
Yeah, it really does.
Obviously, it's the Fox engine and the same lighting, so a long dark hallway with a red light is automatically going to remind you of.
I love how the theorist's first assumption of seeing this scene were the parallels to that scene in MGS1.
What?
With all of the slaughtered guards.
Oh yeah.
And you could guess a certain YouTuber was just like, "Oh, here you go.
Oh right, yeah.
Here's Gray Fox. Here's your proof."
Try and find anything.
Yeah. Wow, the official Metal Gear Solid account's just tweeting out images. Interesting. Okay. All right, let's keep going. This scene still bothers me. I don't know what to make of it, with him killing those soldiers, but yeah, it is what it is.
I have no idea.
Yeah, I mean.
Oh, this is the next scene.
This is kind of interesting.
This is where Skullface appears behind him out of nowhere. Look at, the scene where you see Snake and the Dino Dogs. Look behind Snake as the scene starts, and then look as Skullface just appears behind him from nowhere.
Oh, yeah.
And now he disappears.
Like how he's just like...
and it's like he's introduced. It's like he's just spawned. He puts on his hat as if, I'm here to say hello.
Oh, I gotta play that again.
And it's just like Snake's looking behind to see if, just that he knows that he's there. It really just seems like he's in his mind.
See, that just really bothers me, though, because I look at that scene and I totally buy into it. Okay, that isn't whatever, a hallucination, or that is a whatever projected thing from Big Boss. But at the same time, then like how
you have Ground Zeroes and you have him doing all these things. How do you make
sense of that? Yeah. Like so.
Is maybe maybe
and then you have the scene, and then you have the scene with Snake sitting over Paz on that surgery table. Was he the one that caused all that?
Was Big Boss? It was Big Boss Skullface. Was Big Boss the one who killed Paz?
Was he the one who raped Paz?
Who knows?
I mean, the audio tape would suggest that's Skullface who did all those horrific things.
Yeah, and then we see Big Boss in the Phantom Pain with Paz, looking down on Paz with his being all stitched up and everything.
Yeah. Oh my god. Okay, and then you know what's interesting about? So you had the scene earlier where Snake is.
Notice how like all the Diamond Dogs soldiers are completely oblivious to the fact that Skullface just appeared right beside them. He's only there for Big Boss. Only Big Boss can see him.
No, it makes complete sense in that regard. I want to see that scene again. God damn it, that bugs me so bad now.
I just think it's pretty cool. I'm just intrigued by it.
And they're all the MSF soldiers. They're all looking at what appears to be another Zeke.
Yeah.
Or some new
it's
form
like
of
maybe
Zeke or something.
Yeah.
And then he the way he enters that scene is just so. It's like that was perfectly played out, and the way even the way that the camera is panned in that scene. It plays out perfectly. Like, okay, here's your figment of here's your Fight Club, Tyler Durden appearing behind you.
Yeah.
Oh, that is crazy. Okay, so here in this scene, I noticed this is a continuation of the very first scenes from this trailer. So you see the bloody Walkman that he had set down in front of that mirror. And you see the bullet and you see that casing next to it. So this has to be that same room. Because you see the plastic sheets next to the mirror. That has to be the same room.
Let me just take a look.
It's at 453.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it looks although that looks like those look like plastic sheets. They're not the
I think
do you mean
those are plastic.
Are you talking about the bathroom? The bathroom, or are you talking about?
Remember the scene we saw where it had all the ammunition?
Oh
and
yeah,
the weapons laying around
I don't know. This looks kind of different to me, but
does it? Okay.
Like,
I don't know.
In the bathroom scene, the curtains look like white curtains. Here they look like plastic sheets, but it definitely looks like, very similar type of setup. Yeah. But I'm not sure. Maybe it's just the lighting, but
I don't know. But okay, so Snake's walking past this. He's completely bloodied. At first I thought, is his face only bloody? But no, it appears that he's bloody on his outfit too.
And smashes his reflection. It's almost like he's walking.
You know what's interesting too? Do you hear what's going on in the background?
I'll turn up my volume.
Scene and listen.
Oh, you can hear like loads of gunfire outside?
Yeah.
You can hear the cassette stop?
Yeah.
Let's play it again. It's almost like he's walking past the cassette tape as it stops. And it clicks, and then it's kind of like he's disgusted by the sight of his own face there.
The chain of retaliation is what will truly bind this world together as one.
And you can hear it, even that the sound effects of our gunfire and all that keeps going all the way through, even past that scene. And then
oh yeah. And then we see double Liquid Snake.
Yeah, double Eli.
That looks really like sort of dream-like, though.
Les enfants terribles.
Terrible children. Les enfants terribles. And then V has come to.
Zero called in.
So what do you think he means by that's Snake talking, and he goes, Zero called it.
Yeah, like he's telling someone, like, he's found out about that he's been cloned. Like, that's one of the major things that has to happen. And in MGS4 it's stated that when Big Boss found out that his DNA was manipulated and that they created his clones, that's when he swore all out revenge. And he says to Old Snake, Eva says, I'm sorry, your father never wanted you, but I wanted you. And Big Boss gets pretty badly affected when he finds out that Zero cloned him. So I assume here he's telling Miller or Ocelot, that he's been cloned, assuming that they don't know about it, or he's telling someone, about it. It'd be interesting if he's telling Miller this stuff that Miller already knows.
Miller or Ocelot, one of the two, yeah.
But yeah, he's telling them about Les Enfants, and that he's like obviously not too happy about it.
And is that that's the end of the trailer. Wow. Okay, so I got a lot more out of that than I thought I'd originally seen. So part of me is completely convinced now. Skullface is just a manifestation of his whatever.
I don't know if he's gonna be.
But then that just makes what was Ground Zeroes?
Well, the whole thing with Paz, what we've seen in this trailer with Paz and Skullface, it kind of makes you question what actually happened in Ground Zeroes a bit more.
Exactly. And I mean, they've gone out and said that is the prologue to the Phantom Pain.
Yeah. Oh, it still will be, but maybe the Phantom Pain is going to completely change the context of what Ground Zeroes actually was, or maybe Skullface is somewhere in between reality and unreality. Maybe he did do these things, and maybe he still is inside Big Boss's head. Who knows? Maybe.
So you're saying there's a potential that Skullface actually does exist, but at that point in time, could be.
Yeah, I really don't know what kind of, like, he's definitely some form. Skullface is partly supernatural, like,
right.
But to what extent? Who knows?
Right. Wow, that's a mind fuck. Okay. All right, let's break down the other trailer real quick. Do you have that? Can you pull that one up again? That one's really short, but I just wanted to go over that one again. I still have mine.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. Let's start from the beginning. So you got the same scene with Miller standing on top of that tower at Mother Base, giving what appears to be a speech. Then you have this tank scene. What's interesting about this tank scene, to kind of emphasize your point from earlier,
it's the nighttime version of what we've seen already.
It's a nighttime version of that same scene. Yeah, exactly. And then you have what appears to be the bottom portion of Zeke being worked on.
You see Huey on top of the right beside it, on top to the left.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I'll play this. Yep, that's definitely Huey. That has to be Huey.
The sandstorm scene that has to be another scene that adds to the sandstorm scene with Quiet and Snake getting ripped out of the sky with the chopper.
Yeah. No, I agree. I bet that's all part of it. This scene's kind of interesting with Ocelot turning his head back to Mel. And then you have this. Okay, so Okay, this is something interesting. I don't know if you caught this or not. So I'm at 20 seconds, and this shows soldiers riding on D-walkers. They're called D-walkers.
Yeah.
And then you have soldiers in front. Okay, you see these guys, and they're wearing like they're shorts, right?
Yeah.
Those, you know, the scene where the zombies were kind of, and Snake and Quiet were by the helicopter, and there were zombies.
Yeah.
Those zombies were dressed up as these guys.
Oh, were they?
Yes. Yes. We can go back and check, but I'm almost 100% sure that they were dressed like these guys. Because I thought that because when I first saw that, I was like, man, those guys look kind of funny with those shorts. And it looks like exactly this. So, and then you have
Quiet and Big Boss.
So that's interesting. Code Talker.
Oh, that looks like
Quiet.
That's the same room where Quiet gets tortured.
Tortured, yeah. You can see the torture device.
So is Code Talker getting tortured as well? It looks like he's kind of tied up next to her or something.
Yeah, yeah, it does.
And you see the same machine, you know, the thing that they spin to get the electricity for the
same thing Strangelove uses on Snake and Peace Walker. And you have Snake just running away from what appears to be just.
And you see Mantis next to the Volgan Spectre.
Oh, okay, so now that I paused it at 28 seconds.
28?
Yes. These guys, those were the guys attacking the helicopter, without a doubt. That looks like that guy that we saw.
Yeah.
I noticed it because of the chest piece. It has that kind of high chest piece, but you still see his like pec muscles poking out.
Oh, you're saying the guy outside the window was one of the skulls that jumps up into the air?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
38 is the next place to pause while we Skull Face throwing Julie down as well, which is kind of interesting. But at 38, we see the Volgan Spectre and Mantis beside it. We also see some sort of Metal Gear in the background.
God, that looks so cool.
but look at
awesome.
Look at like they almost look. Mantis looks not really real either. There, like they both they look see-through. Like they look like holograms almost.
He does for sure. Mantis, I don't know. Mantis.
I don't know if the Mantis. People like seem to be saying, I think maybe Mantis may not be like an actual character in this game. Like we might just have this sort of version of him like we have with Volgan.
Like and that, you know,
like that version. Yeah. Okay. That it's like it's supposed to remind you of Mantis, just like this Volgan thing is supposed to remind you of Volgan, but they're not actually those people.
Right.
But the interesting thing is that Big Boss has no relation with Mantis before this game. Right. You could imagine, you could sort of make sense that the Volgan that he's seeing is some sort of, you know, something from his head, but why would the Mantis thing be? So maybe this is the child version of Mantis.
I like how in this scene in you know a couple of the other scenes where they do show Mantis or this version of Mantis, whoever this is, how it's suspended. It reminds me of how Mantis the puppet is suspended in 4. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not that that's any significance, but it just it reminds me. So you have the demon horns popping out of the road, which still just blows me away. Let's see. It's crazy.
And then you've Skullface looking at Snake upside down again in a different setting.
Hold up. Do you see the scene at 43 with Snake pointing the gun?
Yeah.
That animation is the same animation from that other scene, but Snake's wearing completely different gear.
Yeah, from the other trailer.
All right, and then we have Eli jumping into the what appears to be still working on Zeke.
And you have Skullface and XOF landing at Mother Base, it seems.
And it's the same scene. It just looks like it's
Yeah.
during the daytime now. Or I guess the other scene was too, but it just looked like it has different lighting. And yeah, then you have that scene with Skullface looking at the snake upside down. This last scene is great. That is great.
I have a feeling that's the end of some sort of side op or something.
You know, it's kind of interesting because, you know, when they first showed that trailer of Quiet jumping out of the helicopter, dematerializing, and then materializing again on Mother Base, I was just like, okay, how the hell is he going to explain this? But now that you got me thinking about Skullface, and Skullface being this, like, he can appear whenever it seems Snake wants him to appear. Is Quiet someone that, even though is visible to other people, is that someone that Snake is controlling? And
I wouldn't say so.
Sense?
I wouldn't say so.
Far-fetched, but yeah. Well, I mean, wow. Fantastic trailers, but still lots of unanswered questions and lots of unanswered theories. But it's interesting. We were able to tie a lot of scenes together, though.
Yeah.
You know? It's interesting how he looks like he's placing scenes before and after where they're taking place. But yeah, it's just very interesting. Very interesting. I don't know. Any closing thoughts about what you've seen today?
No, nothing that I can think of, really. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I'm going to have fun looking at it a good few more times.
Yeah, definitely. It's still the whole headphones being attached to the body thing, that's still just, what the hell is going on there? That whole injury with that soldier laying down? Is that, I mean,
yeah.
I don't understand that still.
That was a lot of interesting stuff.
Someone said,